What's wrong? What's the matter, Benzo? So Marge been got the nerves, Marge. He said the poles are flipping, Margie. And then the sun is gonna go out. And then Benny got a hurt ear, Margie. What, Benno? You let that dog in there lick it, and then we got consequences that I don't like. So, alright, real quick. Dang it. This is unscripted. Hold this, Mom, please. Good dog, good dog. Good dog. Good doggy. Big ol' ears, huh? Good dog. Good boy, man. Good boy. There's nothing on your Q-tip or your cotton ball, so that's good. I know it. Tell me all about it. Alright, can I go back to my talk now? Please? Yeah? Yeah? Look at that cute face. Look at that cute face, Beanie. Big face, Beanie. Oh, thank you, Ma. Appreciate that. Alright, throw this away. Alright, good news. Found a bag today. Found a bag today. Called this morning, first thing this morning. Called Tom at Taos Tack and said, "Did you get a bag in? Because I know today's Wednesday and I know that they get their order in on Tuesday." And so, freaking a big bag of this, $78.
Whoa.
I mix it with their other food. So, and their other food's a 28 bag. It'll last all month. I'll mix them together. That's just,
That'll make it
that's like almost as, I mean, that's pretty much what I spent the last time I went to the store for us. With, you just, I just keep swiping that card and just am grateful when it works. So, hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I called today's talk. Hi, James. Yeah, I gotta remember to be kind to myself. What it's worth, I think about that, because we're finding, I'm seeing so many people that are so much different than they used to be, and it's like they came up with their number, that number that they disregard all of their morals and standards and personal ethics and all that stuff. They trade it all for that number. And I just always ask myself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I could have done that. I could do that at any point. When people make choices that go against that their own personal constitution, I personally have had a lot of anguish from choices that I made from that, from not living a heart-based existence, from living from my ego, for just living for me. My brother told me a couple years ago before we moved down here, so it's been over 2 years now. His advice was to get rid of 2 of the dogs and put Mom in a home and go back to work. And I thought about that, and every now and again I think about that. And I know what I can live with in life, and I know what I can't live with, and I just can't. For one, I made a promise when I was 15, because those homes are terrible, and I was like, God, if God gives me the strength and the means to make sure that you stay out of that, I will do whatever I can to keep you out of those places, because people just decline when they go there. My grandma declined real rapid when back in 2005 they put her in. Then she went home for to take her last breath. I don't know. She was on hospice at home, but she was in, because when I went to go see her the last time I saw her, 2004 Thanksgiving, it was such a trip, man. She was just always this tall, Sagittarian woman, She was a real estate agent for 42 years. She started later in life. Didn't get her, she was the matron. I mean, she did all these things. She was from this line in history, and I talk about her in other videos, Edith W. Hessick. And I got good parts of her in me, and I got those character defects too, I got my I don't know, my hang-ups I've had about my weight from her. That's what I inherited from her, because they always thought that my body should have been a certain way, and I should have been a certain weight. So, I mean, so they've been having me go to Weight Watchers from the time I was 12 and being extra conscious. And before that, I mean, they said I was hypoglycemic and allergic to milk, so I was always having to read labels from the time I could read. I was reading ingredients on the back of labels to make sure that I wasn't going to eat something that was going to make me feel icky. Yeah. Yeah, we never got to have Saturday morning cartoons and cereal. And on the occasions that we did, it was grape nuts with apple juice. It was no fun. But when I hit that age when I could do what I want, man, I found all the fun. I made up for it. So, and then now I live that happy medium of, I have some fun, but I discipline myself too. I think the world's lacking discipline in a big way. I was talking to Mr. Iskey today, and he was talking to his friend, and he was like, yeah, it was midnight. I talked to him this weekend, and that's when people are up in the attic. They're in a dangerous neighborhood, and they're up in their minds. I'm glad he called him, though, because it's better get that stuff out of your head and share it with somebody, because especially at night. A good rule of thumb, I often remind myself, if we all get thoughts. We all have that angel and the devil on our shoulder. But if we're getting thoughts that are all telling you to harm yourself or somebody else, reach out to somebody and let them know. Someone that you trust. Don't do anything that you can't regret or that you can't fix when the sun comes up. And hopefully people have someone that, because I mess with Mr. Iskey, man. He's heard me say that the dark. I mean, I'd be I remember being so desperate, talking to him on the phone, walking the dog when I was in Phoenix, or not Phoenix, and when I was in Flagstaff, and I didn't know where we were gonna go. We lived with a couple of freaking really wicked women, and they like to make me feel and let me know every day that I was not welcome there and that I needed to get out. And I didn't have a vehicle, my truck broke, the computer blew in it, and I just was All right, God, what are you going to do now? I know you've always, here's the leap of faith again. And then somebody reached out, an earth angel reached out and said, I want to help you. And a complete stranger sent us a check for like $15,000. So I spent like $3.5 on it on a minivan. I just signed the title to the truck over. There's nothing else I could do. I was leaving. I'd never want to go back to Flagstaff again. Made it possible to, pay for the movers because they wouldn't even let me wait with my stuff for the movers to come so I could be there and then drive out with my stuff. It was get out. So I didn't get everything that I got there with. Those chicks were wicked, man. See, that's the thing. Is like the way people have treated me in life. I've never treated people like that. I wouldn't even think about treating people like that. I did get to learn restraint there. I did get to learn with restraint. I lost a bunch of weight too, man. I was not eating. I was so stressed out. You can see it in my videos. And then like it was worse because my old dog, she kicked my dogs out. My dogs have always been like indoor lazy rescue dogs. Never had to go. We go outside and play, right? She like, they'd have to go out like 9:00 in the morning and they couldn't come in until 6:30 at night, and she had all these rules and regulations, and I was just like, okay, with all this critiques and criticisms that you're giving me, can you give me some positive feedback? And then I get yelled at for being an adult, and I don't need no positive feedback. And she'd say things that I had too much PTSD, that nobody should have to put up with my PTSD and my weird breathing, she said. I'm like, dude, that's what people don't get. I breathe like a weirdo. It works because I ain't never punched nobody in their face. And that's why I do it, because it keeps me from doing that, see? See, if I didn't breathe like a freaking weirdo, if I didn't do that stuff, I would be a lot more violent, and then I'd just be more of the same in the world. I'd have a rap sheet as long as my arm, I'd have all this domestic violence charges and stuff like that. No, I don't have that stuff because I breathe like a weirdo. And I do my weird hand things and all that stuff, because I don't care what people think of me. I don't care if people think I'm crazy. I don't care if they think I'm a weirdo. You don't hurt people. And how many people on the planet don't know that right now? There's a lot of people on this whole collective experience that just don't know that you don't hurt people. You don't put your hands on another being, another person, unless you have permission. Or, you got some social agreement that it's cool. Spoken or unspoken or otherwise, And the world's not the same place. People don't have the liberties that we once had on this planet anymore, because people don't have the respect for things that they once had on this planet. Their scopes has gotten so much smaller. I was thinking about that. People used to be interested in a lot more things. Now people are interested in like maybe a thing, They're interested in like video games, or they're interested in like sports, I mean, the stuff I like doing. I mean, I got my first carving knife, like outdoors knife, had had the sharpening stone when I was like 6 years old, and I put it on, I wear it on my waist like I was supposed to, and tie it to my leg, and I go out on my adventures, and because I was always given the freedom to be careful with things. They sat me down and they taught me how to use the sharpening stone, and don't put your finger on it like this, hold it like this, and and how did I learn? And if I swayed and I was like, well, I'm going to try and see if I can do this or that, there was always consequences to be had with that. I remember we were clamming, we were hunting for clams in Morro Bay. So we moved up there, I was 4, almost 5 when we moved out of Morro Bay to Redding. So I was real young. But I just came into this incarnation knowing that I just wanted to experience life. And I feel like I didn't know I died, and I was just kind of continuing the life in my last reincarnation, where I was some, like, daredevil dude that freaking hesitated or did something and died in unexpectedly, and then, like, was born, and I continued that trajectory in the body of this little girl. It's kind of a wild story, but anyway. So I just wanted to do all this stuff, this wild stuff, and when I didn't get to go, I'd get sad. Like, I remember when they caught a hammerhead shark, and I wasn't there, and I was all sad because I didn't get to see it. But anyway, and Mom's boyfriend Dan said, don't go sticking your hands in the stand, feeling around and grabbing for clams. Don't go doing it. You're gonna grab it. You're gonna pick one up. The edges are very sharp. You're gonna cut yourself. And I was like, okay, I won't. No. Well, maybe if I just, like, dig around with my toe, okay. Maybe if I just, maybe if I always push the edges, man. I'm Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, Rising, Aries, Sun. If there's an edge to push, I'm gonna do it. And so, before you know it, I'm freaking reaching around, picking up, I got one, sliced my finger. Then I had to go profess my sin. I hated eating those things, though, man. They're slimy. I hate clams, oysters, all that stuff. No, I do not. Most things I'd rather cook than eat. I made a pretty cool dish today. It's the lazy man's cabbage roll. It's cabbage roll casserole. You just cook the cabbage and lay it on a cookie sheet or whatever, and then the rice and beef and egg, all that mixture, stuff that goes in the peppers, you put that on top and bake it. I use like 5 Italian cheeses and some smoked provolone, so it turned out pretty good. Mom ate 2 bowls of it, not right next to each other, a couple hours apart. She liked it, So, something different. I just got to do stuff different all the time. Now I got some left over, so I'll bring it to some people in town maybe that could go for a home cooked meal, so nothing goes to waste. Anyway, all in all, today was a pretty okay day. I woke up, actually I haven't been sleeping well because just trying to... Anyway, I just haven't been sleeping well. And so, like, this morning I got up and it was probably 5:30. And sometimes I really enjoy the morning before Mom gets up, just because it's just like, I could sit and drink a cup of coffee. I could, maybe, like, just kind of chill out, wake up and not have to, because I already got to get up and take Artie out immediately every single day. Well, we just started that recently because he's getting old, and so first thing, I become conscious. I put on my shoes and take him out, and then I come back in and be lazy, because he don't need to have to hold it, and it gets, he's getting older, so he doesn't want to hold it, and he does too. He'll hold it like a trooper. So I let him out, and then this morning Mom came out, and it was 6:30, and I was not ready to start my day. That didn't go well for a while, and then I freaking started my day over again, and it ended up fine. It is just another one of those. I think Omaha's getting a lot of snow right now. I think they're getting precipitation. They started this afternoon. We just aren't getting stuff we're at. The winds are shifting, because when I woke up this morning, took Artie out, the clouds were moving in like a north trajectory, and a little while ago they were hitting like southeast. So something's shifting, and but we're just not getting it. Like, we're supposed to keep getting 4 to 6 inches, and we get nothing, a dusting, and I'm okay with that. I haven't heard about anything You never hear about it though. How there's always these tornadoes, and then you don't hear anything about anything after that. But the winds of change are blowing. The Earth is just gonna keep changing and changing, and I just keep waiting for the generous ones to step forward. They keep talking about how people are gonna do it, yet they're not doing it themselves. So I'm just gonna keep teaching people how to do it. Keep teaching people how to be generous. Hey, okay. That's fun. I always, my personal, this is me, and I don't know anybody else, but I always use a little h when I refer to myself as Heyoka. And I do it a lot because that's like one of my, I just say thank you, a Heyoka. And if anybody that knows what a Heyoka is, then cool. And if not, maybe it'll get them to look something up. You're Aries rising. That's cool. My buddy. See, I wonder if I'm trying to his channel. He doesn't have he has a little YouTube channel, but he hasn't done anything with it yet. He found himself living in the woods, and before his life changed, he does Renaissance Fair in Northern California in Redding, and I think he's going to do another kind of thing like that, where people come and I don't know. It's kind of like that. So, and then people can come stay where he lives and camp. And then he'll cook for him. And he makes like the best meals. He talks about the best meals on his page. And he just does it, and it's been raining for weeks in California. And he still manages to pull off these pretty creative. I share them on my page. On my Facebook page. You alright, Tuck? Oh, inward sneeze there, dog. Margie Hessick. He posted one not too long ago. And it's funny because, I don't know. He's clever with words, too. The problem with having delicious leftovers and a bloodhound is she knows damn well there's still food left no matter where I put it, and lets me know in no uncertain terms that she disapproves. Edit. A few minutes after I took this picture, she made me spill it in my lap, and I may have said some unkind words. And then he makes these like really good meals. He usually tells you what the meals are. He didn't in this particular one. But I don't know, it's leftovers. He probably. He's like the meme master. Memes are going to save the planet. Memes, if people keep coming up with memes, that will break AI, artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence can't track logic. See, this is he had one. Oh, I shared it. I don't know where he did with it. But he makes really wonderful gravies. A raven's eyrie in skillet photographed in its natural habitat. Cube pork chopped and red potatoes in yesterday's magnificent gravy, topped with green onion from the garden. I freely admit this meal was just prepared as a vehicle for gravy delivery. By the way, the green onions were grown from grocery store cuttings planted in September. I've been eating off the same plantings all winter, and they have survived some extremely inclement weather. And then he's got his skillet with all of his yummy food, and he'll be all right. He gets down, but he gets back up again. I wonder if if I can find the one that he did the other day. This one was one of the funniest ones. Nope, this isn't the same one. It's illegal to collect rainwater in California, and it is in Oregon too. It's absurd. Bureaucrats, control freaks, man. It's like they have a good time. It's like it's really fun for them to just really make it hard for people to live. Unless you live like them and you go to work and you work in a job where half of your third of your taxes go to the government and all these other entities instead of your own pocket. And then you work really hard to just put, to feed all these other entities where all these people work because they don't have the imagination to come up with ideas themselves. I mean, it's absurd. It's gotten gross. I think it's funny. I heard a talk today, and somebody was talking about, they mentioned again, we've reached that milestone. The Earth has reached 8 billion people. Really? Life expectancy on this planet is what now? How many people just died in the last few years? Continue to drop like flies. Even China has declared that their birth rate stopped going up, which the impacts that they're talking about is supposed to scare people a lot of and by that. And I'm supposed to believe there's more people on that? No. See, when have they said anything true? I doubt I'd be surprised maybe if there's like 5 billion people on the planet, 4.5, but there's not as many. And then you have these these events that happens where it's like we see footage where islands disappear and tsunami, and what everybody just climbed a tree, but they didn't die. And it's like they try to protect the psyche and the reality of life from so many people. Because they can't handle it. People are gonna have to start learning how to positive coping mechanisms. Wednesday. Joey the Gypsy puts his talk out. His channel is like way, but it's exploded. A lot of people like listening to him. I like listening to him. He's out in Florida. I told him if he ever comes to Taos, I'd be glad to show him around. Anybody ever comes to Taos, I'd be glad to show you around. Probably be better after April, March, because then I could take you down to the John Dunn Bridge. It's super pretty down there. And people want to come out and get married, do whatever I could do that for you. I'm ordained. Get married by a heyoka. I've listened to people who've gotten married by a heyoka in their talks. I've listened to their talks, but so he was talking about fitness today. He was talking about fitness today. And he had made a comment about, as down as he has been in life, as down as he has been, like, spiritually, emotionally, just bankrupt or all that stuff, that go through the mental anguish of challenging yourself in this life and things like that. And he's like, at least I'm fit, at least I'm cut, at least I got, a good body. And I thought that was funny because I also speak on the importance and value of staying in good physical condition. And I lift weights when I don't want to. I lift weights when I want to. I just, he has his regimen, and I just got him. Whenever I think about it, I just bust out, and I have my different, ways to mix it up and stuff like that. And yeah, it was programmed in me also, and I really am grateful now that so many people had really drilled into my head that I needed to be fit, because now I'm gonna be 50 next year. Ooh, mom, I'm gonna be 50 next year, ma. Oh, lolly. God willing, and the creek don't rise, and and I mean, my body feels like it's, some days I feel like I'm older than mom, but I still am fit, and I still manage to, move around, stay agile. And today I got a little sad. I had a little, just a brief pity party, and then came back into the room where my hands are. Focus, don't worry about stuff. But I got bad feet, and I'm just like, man, that'd be suck if one day I couldn't dance anymore, because I love to dance. I do what I can to take care. I a buddy of a lady that does my feet soak. She got one of those mats, those electromagnetic mats that you sit on for like 20 minutes at a time. I'm gonna go over there and sit on one of those. And oh, this happened yesterday. If there's people new to my channel, before I moved here, the place I lived, man, I moved in there. They had 5 cats, like feral stray cats, and then like the cats from the next door started coming over. So I ended up feeding all these cats, and then they had more cats, and it was a whole thing. But a lot of these I fell in love with, because like one of them had babies on the porch, and it's just, I mean, it was like this whole story, and I don't want to get too much into it more than I already have. But one of them I brought here with me, and then he went after Stan Lee, so I was like, no, I ain't having that, and there ain't no way I could get him fixed before he was just going to keep getting aggressive. I could tell he was like at 2, and he was starting to get territorial, and so I brought him back to the trailer, and that broke my heart. And then my old landlord, like, sent me a message saying, oh my God, this cat's gonna die, Marge, you gotta save it, you gotta come get it. And so I went and got it, and well, the landlord now said I couldn't have it. I could only have my one cat, so I had to take it to the park, and I called I called a couple cat rescues, and they couldn't help me. And so they said, but if I go down to the park or someplace and say you found this cat, then animal control would have to come get it and then take it to the rescue. And I was like, okay, well, that's what I got to do, because I can't keep it, and I really want Bitty Bit, man. I wanted it. I wanted to keep him so bad. He's a cool cat, little cat. He's not going to be big. He's going to be a runt, and he might have health. He probably might not live to be like as old as other cats, but he was one of those that he would just sit on the counter and sit there and just watch me cook and hang out. Wherever I was, he would just sit there, and he was a kitten. He didn't really like playing with toys and stuff. He was just a really mellow, chill cat. And it broke my heart to let him go too. And I haven't been able to look at the rescue website because it's just too painful. I hadn't been able to, but I looked yesterday, finally, and there he was. There's a picture of Bitty Bit right there, and he's getting bigger, and he looks like his mama. I never knew who his dad was, but he's such a cool cat, man. And he would sit there, and I'd lean down, and I give kisses, and he'd give me headbutts. So he give me headbutt kisses. He'd like lean in. I mean, and this picture was taken like the 27th of December. The rescue was asking, so he hadn't been adopted yet. The rescue was asking for paper sacks. And like those empty 12 packs of cardboard for sodas and beer and whatever, because dogs like to chew it up and tear it up, stuff like that. I thought about maybe going down and seeing the cat, seeing him, but I thought maybe it'd be too hard. But I could. I don't know. Man, if the universe allowed it, I would have a place, a compound, and I would categorize the whole thing. And then I would have, see, around here, cats are part of the food chain. So you can't, I mean, you got outside cats that you're risking its life every day, every night. But I would have a big old enclosure. I would have it built, and I would contribute to building it also. I would partake in build a big old outdoor catio so the cats could go outside but be safe from coyotes and packs of dogs and stuff like that. And I could help, alleviate a lot of the, because there's missing dog. I mean, the pet thing is out of control, out of hand here. And it's just old ideas, the old way of thinking. I talked to Mr. Iskey today, and he was talking about how, he's like, I don't know, because he has 2 girl dogs, Molly and Morgan. And they're young. They're only like 7 months old. They're, April 24th. They're Taurus, I think. Anyway, so they're young yet, but he was they say that it's good to let them have 1 litter. I said, those people that say that need to be punched in the face. I said, maybe it was like that at one time. It's not that world anymore. I said, Mr. Iskey, I said, number 1, it's healthier for the dogs if they don't. If they just get, dogs don't desire to have babies. And I say, and animal, with all the pets in rescue, with the Beagle Basset Rescue, where I got all my dogs from, and with the whole animal situation here, and I know it's like this in rural areas all over the place, because that's just how they treat animals. They just let them run free, and they just keep having, getting procreating, and no. I said just get them new, just get have them fixed. I said, I can't. I said my piece. I'll get off my soapbox. I said, but it's just, the world has plenty of animals in it. And we're never going to get to a place where all the animals are spayed and neutered anyway. So, I freaking can't stand breeders, man. It's like it's a sex trade for freaking animals. When freaking human beings profit from freaking these little puppies' lives, it's just as gross. All of it. Huh, girl? We don't appreciate that, do we, huh? She said, no, we don't. And that's rude, too. Want to say hi? You never said hi to the people. Luna never did. Come here, pretty. Come here. A short stack. Come here. I gotta go all the way down here because her legs are only this long. Okay. Sit. Okay. What you doing? Silly? She said, I just so kissy mood. Are you in the mood? She said, yes, I'm in the mood. You're the pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. You're my little old lady. She came from South Carolina. She was about 40 minutes from being put down. Huh, lunatickle. She my lunatickle. See my pretty girl. See my pretty lady. She's probably about 10 or 11. She's starting to lose her sight. Her little face is turning white. She's still just as pretty as she always been. Yes. Yes, a very pretty girl. A very good girl. They're very good. Okay, thank you. Okay, I gotta go finish. Okay, all right. That was not cool. That was not. See, goofy. I gotta finish my talk. Can I do that? And then we go out and walk around in the freezing ass cold, because it is so cold. I'm such a baby when it comes to the cold. Huh. She's the toughest, though. It took a lot of freaking growing pains for us to get acclimated, to figure out for us how to live all together. Now she doesn't got no teeth left, but she used to have, her bottom teeth were broken, and they were sharp like obsidian. And she'd wake up, and Tucker would wake up in the middle of the night, and they'd, go after each other. they get scared. They see the other one and be like, ah! And then they defensively, fearfully, and I'm like this with my arms up. So a couple times I got freaking nailed. I've been bit by so many dogs. So many dogs that just like walking down the street, just walk over and just bite me and then walk away. It's just dogs I've known, you know, people I know, their dogs bite me, and then it's just like, what am I supposed to act? Just act all nonchalant. There's blood running down my leg. Yeah. I asked people if they ever been. There's a lot of people have never been bit by an animal. I'm like, really? I mean, there's a life experience right there that, like, so many people haven't had. They just create these little bubble lives for them. Never been one of those. Anyway, my voice is getting tired. I'm done running my mouth. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.